What's up, everyone? Champets back again for another UFC predictions video. This time for Hernandez versus Pereira. Super excited. Sick main event. Very sick co-main event too. Very hyped for this card. It's a good Apex card. We are here for it, and I'm very excited to talk about it and give some predictions for it. This time back here in Florida. No hurricane this time. Hopefully not again anytime soon. That's been annoying as of late. So get my full emotions now because of that. But yeah, let's look at a recap of last week, which, oh my god, we did great. We did great last week. We can just go through the bets real quick. Starting with the first fight of the card, I bet Pilastre to win by finish, and if it didn't go to finish, if she didn't finish the fight, then she would I wouldn't lose any money because the only chance of her losing was by decision, and one judge had a decision towards Corey McKenna. Saudi Amato. I have a big problem with Saudi Amato because he's robbed me of my money. Raquel Pennington, Marina Rodriguez. I'll live. But yeah, Pilastre looked amazing. I think my mind has completely flipped from Pilastre as I originally thought. I kind of thought she was a bum, if I'm being quite honest. Maybe not bum. Not bum is being a little harsh. So I don't really call people bums unless they're really. I might even use that word today for one fighter, but I didn't think much highly of her. It's it's not crazy. When I was especially that's why I bet so much on Knutson to beat her. I was like, Knutson's a freaking different level. There are levels to this, and I do think that's still true, but I mean, that win's looking good for my girl Josephine Knutson. That's an impressive win. Pilastre looked incredible. She's so physical. But I think I gotta give her that credit. And if she's able to walk you down, it's trouble. It's big trouble for any strawweight. No, she's the biggest girl, but she was definitely bigger than McKenna, which is pretty obvious. Not like that's unusual because McKenna's used to being smaller. She could not get any takedowns on Pilastre. And yeah, her clinch work was fantastico. And I thought the striking, she put on a show. I think I can say I'm a Pilastre fan now. I think she has some potential in her that I did not see in the past. So my mind is kind of flipped on her here. So props to Pilastre. I'm might be looking at you in the future for some bets because I like what I see. Next up, the biggest bet of the card, Temba Garimbo. Yeah, Temba did his thing. It's felt like a layup matchup the UFC gave him. That's why I was willing to go ham on him, and he looked good. I did worry because there were moments in the fight where it was like, Temba, your chin, please be careful. Because Nico has some crazy random BS power that'll just randomly win. It's like, how the hell did this happen? How did Nico Price win? So that I was worried when watching that during the fight. Well, sort of. I was watching Bivol versus Beterbiev at the same time, so it was like I'm not paying too much attention, but I was like, whenever I looked, I was like, come on, what do you do? You're freaking me out. Just get a takedown, stay in half guard, or find a finish, something like that. But no, Temba Garimbo played it safe, and that's just how he is. Which I do like. I do like Temba Garimbo a lot. I think he's great inspiration, of course, but he's a good fighter as well, and he can do what he needs to do to win, which I like a lot as someone who's betting money on him. Garimbo looked great. Not great. He looked good. It's Nico Price. Of course, you're gonna look good at this point. Nico's not anything crazy. Then the next thing, I had a parlay with Garimbo and Grant Dawson. I bet Grant Dawson to win because I had minus worth 350. Not too crazy about it, but he really should win against Rafa. How he did it, I did not expect. Finish Rafa Garcia, impressive. I did not expect that at all. Dawson did whatever the hell he wanted with Rafa, especially when it got to the ground. I do think the striking is still iffy, but I'll give him this. The spinning kicks were okay. Okay, I like that. Like he has like genuinely nice spinning kicks now, which definitely was not the thing before. And but I don't think his other parts of his striking were that great, which probably should be the things that should be looking good first. But whatever. Good spinning kicks. I mean, he's improving. He's improving though, and there's more, not agency. What's the word I'm looking for? Initiative to get a finish. Like when he in round 2 he went ahead and took him out and did absolute damage with those elbows, and he messed up Rafa so bad. Rafa. It's Rafa Garcia. What am I saying? I can't pronounce things. He messed up Rafa Garcia bad, and great win by Grant Dawson. Incredible. That was the best I've ever seen him, I think. Like that or maybe Demir. The Demir fight was pretty good. It's great work by Grant Dawson. And it's like, yeah, and I also do want to say this. That fight made me think more of Grant Dawson than I have in the past, because there have been times where he's not really done crazy amount of damage. Like, because and that's a bit of a worry with how this scoring system is, except for Sal D'Amato, who loves his control for some reason. Besides the Brad Tavares fight, which he scored for Brad Tavares, which, I mean, okay, he didn't win that fight, but whatever. Whatchamacallit? Oh my god, I got sidetracked. Grant Dawson. That fight, similar to how I was talking about Julia Pilastri, raised my stock on him. Like, okay, I have a higher opinion of you now than I didn't have before. Because honestly, I've not been high on Grant Dawson by any means. I put big bets on him in the past against Selecki. That was a freaking layup. That was a layup stylistically. And this one, not necessarily as much of a layup, but it's like, okay, here's a win, Grant Dawson. That's what I thought when going into this one. It's like, okay, on the feet might be dicey, but he's gonna get taken down, and it's gonna be the Grant Dawson show. But yeah, the damage he showed there, great improvement. Hope he keeps going, because he's a good guy. He's a good guy, and I hope he keeps doing damage and not being boring as he has in the past. And then the next bet I had, the last bet I had, I wish I bet more. I wish I bet more in some of the other fights, but hindsight's 2020. I can't be too mad. A win's a win. We're happy. Cheating Joe Kawani versus Jared Gooden. I should have put way more on this. I don't know what Jared Gooden was really doing in this fight. He decided to stay clinched against Cheating Joe Kawani and take many knees, thinking he would get tired. It's like, Cheating's not going to get tired by doing this. Cheating Joe Kawani at welterweight is insane. Like, this dude is like Godzilla in terms of, like, dude's a freaking specimen, a monster at welterweight. And I'm assuming him being at the UFC PI, like, he's able to make the weight cut, like, possible. Like, it's not as much of a chore as it was in Bellator, where it's like, bro literally messed up his voice because of the weight cut to 170. But now he's doing it better than ever, and things looking good. Cheating on the feet is a thing of beauty, and every time he's on the feet fighting someone. And yeah, the clinch work was fantastico. The get-ups, incredible. Like, he's so good. He is so good. Just, if you don't quit, Cheaty, you can do a lot of things. And yeah, this was a Cheaty Joe Kawani win. Very happy to bet on him. So yeah, thank you, Cheaty. Now let's look at the rest of the card. I should just parlayed the whole card. Why do I say that? Oh my god, I went 12 of 12. That's crazy. Now and I'm again. I'm not gonna act like I'm not gonna boast or anything like that, because if you watch back my breakdown on this card, I was like, I'm not confident in like almost all of these fights. So I'll take it. This is the third time I've done this. I've done it 3 other cards. I've done it on Volkov, Rosenstrike, Volkov, Rosenstrike, Gaethje, Poirier 2, the 291 card, the pay-per-view card, and this card. So that was nice to see. That felt good. But let's go through this. Clayton Carpenter versus Lucas Rocha. I was not confident going into this one, because I was like, I know anytime it's on the feet, it's a little bit dicey, and it kind of was. But the levels on the ground were just too different, and Clayton Carpenter is able to get a sub. Good win. Good win from Clayton Carpenter. Cody Haddon wins the decision against Dan Argueta. I was considering picking Dan Argueta, but it's like, I'm kind of impressed by Cody Haddon. But it's like, it's dicey because Argueta's style is it can cause a lot of problems for a lot of people. Haddon has been marked on my. This guy is good. This guy is the real deal, and I just like that performance showed me that he's got the pace to deal with the wrestlers like that, and his hands are a thing of beauty. This dude Cody Haddon is good. I like him a lot. I think I'm going to be looking at him going forward because that was an impressive performance. Sure, Dan Orgetta's a little bit of a punching bag, but he's not bad by any means. Great win. That was a great one. That probably maybe not highlight of my night, but man, what a freaking win from Cody Haddon. I'm going to be looking at him in the future. Talked about Julia Pilastri. Junior Tafa to win by This, oh my god, this was bad. I don't think I can ever like bet money on like Junior Tafa. That was so bad. This was such a bad look. And this guy Sean Sharaf. I don't exactly know the name. I didn't do too much research. I was like, the more takedowns lying on Sean Sharaf isn't crazy. So it's like he's probably not gonna be anything Tafa can handle. But man, he got taken down. And if he had a full camp, I'm not sure Junior wins this fight. I'm really not. My opinion of Junior Tafa just keeps getting lower and lower and lower each time he fights. It's just bad. I don't even know what to say. He basically outlasted him, but didn't look like he could last much longer than he did. So that wasn't a good look. Already talked about this one. Oh my god, I wish I bet Sabatini. Again, hindsight 2020. Man, Sabatini looked freaking good. I was like, the reason why I picked Sabatini, I wasn't super confident in him. Well, I'll reiterate that again. I was like, but I think Sabatini's just a better grappler, and I'm in a fight where I expect them both to grapple. I'm gonna go with the guy who I think is a better grappler, and that's exactly what happened. It's a y'all must have forgot performance from Sabatini. This dude's grappling is good. There's a reason why I was dumb enough to pick this guy to beat Diego Lopez. What he showed in that fight. Sabatini's hard to grapple with, and if you're not gonna outstrike him on the feet, it can be dicey. It can be dicey against this guy. So, great win from Sabatini. Great win from Sabatini. Then we got Temerov. I should have went with round one. Oh well. Man. Good performance, but at the same time, I was watching it back because, again, I was watching Beterbiev Bivol. I think this was the last fight. Was this the last? Yeah, it was. It definitely was. The last fight before that finished. I was like, I watched it back and it's like, oh damn, this wasn't going as necessarily as great because it looked like he was throwing everything in his power and CJ was doing his thing like in the Lacerda fight. Run for my life. I don't think he's that good. CJ Vergara. Like running for his life, staying safe. And Temerov would just keep throwing so hard. I was like, this guy might gas. This is not good. And then he finds a shot on CJ, drops him bad, and just goes for the kill. CJ tries running away again like the Lacerda fight, but Temerov's able to catch him and get him out of there in round one. Good performance, but I'm not sure I'm crazy about this guy in the future. But good win, and this guy's fun. So I'm happy about that. So I like this guy. But I'm betting wise, I'm not sure I'm crazy about this dude. Next fight, the card: Daniel Rodriguez versus Alex Morono. I went with D-Rod to win the decision. I did think he won the decision. It was close, and I was like, oh, dicey. This is pretty dicey, D-Rod. And I honestly, this fight showed me D-Rod's like washed. He's not the guy who he used to be. He 100% is not. To have that close of a fight with Morono, with the boxing, and again, not like Morono is like terrible. He's not bad. He's okay. But D-Rod was a lot better at one point. He's not the same. And to me, this fight showed that. I'll probably be looking to fade D-Rod in the future. Sad. He's not necessarily, like I said, he's not bad, but I knew D-Rod to be really good. And I was really high on him at one point. I can't be anymore. Makes me sad. And yeah, next fight to cover: Brad Tavares, Iron Turtle. I was expecting Iron Turtle to get dropped right away round one. That was crazy. But Iron Turtle did his thing. When talking about this fight, I was thinking a lot of it is like pressure. John Young Park is gonna may not get to Tavares, but he's gonna do something similar to what Mario Batista did to Jose Aldo and Marab did to Jose Aldo. Like push him against the fence and just do a lot of work in the clinch and against the fence. Wasn't exactly that as much because he did pressure him and put him towards the fence, but he didn't give him much room and he spent more time striking Jung Young Park. Besides round 3, which he actually did get a take, which that's impressive to take down Brad Tavares. This guy's a hard guy to take down, so that was extremely impressive by Jung Young Park. But yeah, he got the name Iron Turtle for a reason. He's gonna freaking keep coming forward, throw. Let's go. That's a great one for the Iron Turtle. Happy for him. I like the Iron Turtle. Yeah, and then the main event. Oh my God, my boy Brandon Royval pulls through. I wish I'd bet money on you for the video. I mean, I do have some bets that I don't do like showcase on the channel because I'm not like super confident in them necessarily, but it's like, yeah, I'll do them for fun. And I wouldn't like give them out in public. I would not have given Brandon Royval like previously because Tyra's was scary to look against. And again, hindsight's 2020. But I think my breakdown was pretty spot on. It's like, do we know Tyra's cardio is all that great in 5 rounds? We don't truly know. He answered some questions, though. He did answer. He's got all right cardio. He at least has all right. His grappling, we know for sure, his grappling carries on for 5 rounds, or at least 4 rounds, at least. It's so impressive. This dude, and how he was grappling Royval is like, this guy's got top 3 grappling in the division by far. Like, he's up there with Pantoja. Impressive grappling to be able to do what he did to Brandon Royval, who's a scrambling monster. And the only other guy who had given him trouble in grappling in that sense is Pantoja. The best of the best. But yeah, I was like, Royval's gonna land a bunch of shots, and I think he's gonna like just land more and be more busy and win a decision. That's what happened. Split decision was insane. He did not get dropped round 1. It was more like a stumble. It was clear as day. 1-3-5 Royval. And yeah, Royval did some good damage. I love the boxing I saw on display here. It looked like he put more down on his punches in this fight than he did like against Moreno. Yeah, great win from Brandon Royval. Very impressive performance. Loved what I saw there. So that was great. And 12 for 12, perfect card. We're gonna do it again? Probably not. Like it's very unrealistic to get like a perfect card, like much at all. Like that again. That was my 3rd one I've ever done, and I've gone on one every year since. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough to do. But now let's get to this card. Very excited to talk about this one. Robelis Despain versus Austin Lane. I have a theory how about this one goes. I think that Robelis Despain gets a KO in round 2. I'm predicting it happens exactly the same as the Jonathan Denise fight was with Austin Lane, which was that the last one? Yeah. It's just going out on the limb. But Robelis Despain probably should win this. Is it possible he gets grappled and wrestled? Yeah, it is. And I think that happens in round 1, which is why I don't think he's going to get a KO round 1. But round 2, Austin Lane's going to be gassed again. He's going to be gassed again. And then, oh, hello. It's Robelis Despain time. Out. He's going to put him out then. That's what I think. I'm not going to put a bet on this fight. If I do, it's going to be the round two prop with like $1 on it. But I don't think I'm going to be doing that. I've learned my lesson on Despain. Yeah, I expect Despain. I think Despain will be done then. Alice Ardeline versus Melissa Martinez. Okay. I rewatched this since these fights. I know Melissa Martinez has had bad looks. Getting dropped by Elise Reed. Not the end of the world. Elise Reed does have nice striking. I'm not going to be acting like that. Getting taken down by Elise Reed. That's not good. That's not good. A long time off. Not good either. I'm not sure the exact reason. I think I read somewhere it's something to do with like a knee or something like that, but don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm still gonna take her to beat Alice Ardaline. Alice Ardaline is so bad. I'm sorry. She was like, she lost to Shauna Bannon again, short notice. Split this. I was not a split decision. This girl's not good. She's like, people always point out, wow, she lost to Zhang Wei Li and Diana Balbitsa and now Shauna Bannon. She's not bad. Like, she's not awful or anything like that. She's not the worst thing I've ever seen. But the only girls she's beaten are schmucks. Like, being genuinely honest, like girls who are the bottom of the bottom barrel of like fighters. Just, that's just the honest truth. And am I super duper confident in Melissa Martinez? No. But the Alice Art is, I'm not impressed at all. I'm not impressed at all by anything she's done. Sure, she's a dog, she's gritty and stuff like that. But I think Melissa Martinez, with her background, it's either karate or taekwondo. I'm not exactly sure. But when watching clips of her, she's doing a bunch of kicks and stuff like that, and like karate or taekwondo stance. Don't know the exact thing. I didn't do either of those when growing up, so I feel like I would know if I did. But she's a heavy kick style, Melissa Martinez, and I think Alice Ardaline is gonna come in, get kicked, get punched, and stuff like that over and over and over, and that's gonna be the fight. Like, I kind of have to bet Melissa Martinez. I think I don't have a bet on her right now, but I think I kind of have to. I'm so low on Alice Ardaline. I don't think she's that good. I don't think she's gonna get takedowns easy. I mean, I say that, but at least we got takedowns on her. But maybe she's improved in that time off. Maybe she's saw her brother get in the contender series. It was like, oh, now I gotta step up my game. No, I'm not factoring that stuff in the back breakdown. I just don't think Alice Ardaline is good at all. And not that Martinez is anything special herself, but to me, this feels like they're giving Melissa Martinez, hey, your brother got into the UFC, let's celebrate, give a win. Next fight up the card, Jessica Penne versus Elise Reed. This is a good one. This is actually pretty, like, I'm excited for this one. I'm not sure if that fight is going to be that good, but interesting. I'm going to go with Jessica Penne to win a decision. I don't get me wrong though. I'm a Elise Reed fan. I like Elise Reed actually like a good amount, and she's made me like a bunch of money in the past. Which one was it? I think it was against Jin Yu Frey that I put like a massive amount on her to win that fight. Yeah, it was Jin Yu Frey. And that was like a little dicey too, but it's no secret. On the feet, Elise Reed, she's pretty good. She's not a schmuck. She's not like the worst of the worst. She's pretty good actually. But her weakness, her kryptonite, is the wrestling, getting taken down and being held down. It's kind of what Jessica Penne does, and Jessica Penne is tough. She is tough, and I think she's gonna be able to get the takedowns. This is a completely binary fight. If it's on the feet, it's Elise Reed. If it's on the ground, it's Jessica Penne for the most part, likely. And I think Jessica Penne is gonna be able to find the way to the ground. I'm not a fan of her being like 41. I don't like that at all. Almost 42. Of course, Elise Reed's way younger. The reach does help Penne, and she's gonna be bigger in there, but the faster one's gonna be Elise Reed. Like, I get people picking Reed. I totally get it, but I feel like I'm going Penne because she does have weird takedowns, because Elise Reed's takedown defense of like single legs and double legs, I think more so double legs, it's pretty good, but Jessica Penne does it a little differently, which I think can get Elise Reed down. And I think that's ultimately that's going to decide the fight. So, yeah, give me Jessica Penne. Feels weird picking Jessica Penne in 2024, but here we are. Against Elise Reed, who I really like too. So, but it is what it is. That's what I think. Jocelyn Edwards is Tamir Vidal. Oh, I hate this fight to my core. Not because I think it's gonna be boring. It might be, I don't know. It'll be all right. But these ladies, I have a not so great past with. Jocelyn Edwards. I swear to God, every time I do something with Jocelyn Edwards, I lose. Except for one time, which was against Nora Canole. I just kept blindly fading Jocelyn Edwards over and over and over and over again. And it's like, oh my god, I finally got the fade because like this girl's not good enough to be on like any sort of big win streak, and that's like a horrible way of betting. And like, and I don't have track record of it because I would never just betting. Don't bet this one. Do not bet this one by any means. Both these girls are. Ugh. Ugh. I can't even. I can't believe I lost with Lucy Podolak. That was such a bad robbery. But still, like I fade these girls for sure. Like I usually fade this girl. I didn't fade Vidal when she fought Rendon because I thought, oh, that's a layup. Rendon's awful, and she is awful. And Vidal showed just how bad she is in that fight, and I can never trust her again after that one. So we're getting girls who I want to fade nonstop. I don't want to be on either of these girls. I'm going Jocelyn Edwards. I think she's better, I guess. She's better. I think she can keep distance and win like that against Vidal, honestly. I think that's the main thing that's going to be the separator for her here. I don't think Vidal's really good at anything. Maybe she has a little bit of power. I heard someone, I think it was Clint, say is like Vidal is the Derek Lewis of bantamweight, but without the power. Like it's something like that, and it's kind of true. She's it's not good. But yeah, I'm going Jocelyn Edwards to win a decision. Not super confident in that, but I had to make a pick. Next shot of the card. I'm very excited for this one. Brad Katona versus Gene Matsumoto. This will be interesting. Last time Gene Matsumoto fought against Dan Argueta, I made, was it a huge bet? Actually, check right now. I'll check right now. Oh, it's an older bet. Hold up, because I am curious. How much should I put it? I don't think I went that crazy. Okay, I put 2 units. I would put 2. Hold on. Parlays, stuff like that, I guess. Yeah, okay. 2 units. 2 units on Matsumoto to win his last fight against Dan Argueta. I was like, it's kind of a setup matchup for Matsumoto. I think he should win this fight. I remember vividly how much of a sweat that was. That was a sweat. And I don't get me wrong, Gene Matsumoto, I do think is the future. This dude is good. His Muay Thai, nasty. That him on the feet is so good. And on the ground, like the grappling is nice. He can wrestle himself too. He's able to get up a good amount of times against Argueta, which is good. But you know what? I'm going Brad Katona to win a decision. And I'm still, like I said, I'm still high on this guy, Gene Matsumoto. And this is the exact same thing I had with Royval Tyra like last week. I'm high on Tyra, but that doesn't mean they're always going to win. Does not mean they're always going to win. And they're not going to be like undefeated for everything. Brad Katona is the best competition Gene Matsumoto has faced, in my opinion. I think he's the best. He's very smart, good fight IQ. He comes in with a game plan, knows what he has to do. I think he can put in a wrestling game plan and win like that. I think he can be safe on the feet and keep his distance and not play too much on the feet. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Brad Katona is going to win a decision. Feels weird to say because, like I said, I'm high on Gene Matsumoto. I think this guy is the future, but Brad Katona has been a veteran for years. He can beat guys like this. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Everyone at bantamweight is good. I think Brad Katona gets it done. Say, give me Brad Katona. Am I gonna bet it? I might because I'm expecting the odds to keep coming in on Matsumoto. To be honest, although it might be coming in actually, so we'll see. If I do, it won't be a big bet, like 0.5 at most, 0.5 units, which is $5 for me as of right now. So yeah, I'll take Brad Katona to win. Next fight of the card, Matheus Nicolau versus Asu Amabayev. To be honest, this is kind of crazy. The 20-80%. I am going to go Asu to win a decision. But like, look, I get people on the Nicolau's side because, I mean, Nicolau's losing this fight because he has no chin. His chin is Garbo. His defense is fine, but his chin is not so good. Not so good. I think Asu be able to he's gonna do what he's been doing is what I think is gonna happen. Asu's gonna be able to find the takedowns and keep Nicolau down. Excuse me. And that's kind of how I just see it playing out. It might get dicey because Nicolau does have nice striking. He can counter strike. It's his whole thing, which I don't like watching him. But I think this is a good step up for Asu Amabayev, and I think he's gonna meet it. I do think his wrestling is of that level to be okay. I can beat this kind of guy. Yeah, I know Nicolau's a black belt. He's got good jiu-jitsu himself. I think Asu's the guy. And honestly, I think on the feet he's okay. He's kind of one-dimensional more so, and I'd rather him freaking wrestle. When he can keep up that pace for 15 minutes, we know that, which is great to see. And I've never been so high on Nicolau, to be honest. Knocked out Schnell. Okay. Close fight with Cap, which is good. That is good. Loki kind of should have lost that, but besides the point, it was close. Lost to Royval. Not a bad loss by any means. Perez was doing all right in that fight, but yeah, the chin is not good. And I get it. Asu's not really done the best competition, but I think you can tell from his skills he's ready for this. And I was willing to put a bet on it, and I'm expecting the odds to keep going crazy with it, which they have been. So I'm happy I was able to get in pretty early on it. So yeah, Asu Amabayev for the win. I'm not gonna act like I'm super confident, but I do think he wins. I think that wrestling will be in play. Darren Elkins versus Daniel Pineda. Gas bag versus unlimited cardio, but this guy with the gas bag can finish anyone, and Elkins can take damage, but older. I'm gonna go Pineda round 1 KO. She's not round 3. That's not gonna happen. Round 1 KO. Pineda impressed me a lot in that Nathaniel Wood fight, and I was like, okay, not bad. I was actually very impressed by that. I think Elkins is a little too old as of now. I don't think Elkins is a bad underdog if you want to bet an underdog and okay, Elkins looks interesting. I can understand being behind Elkins because again, Pineda's a freaking gas bag. I do not use a guillotine against Darren Elkins because it will not work. It will not work. Do not guillotine any Team Alpha Male guys because they're too good. Darren Elkins said that in his last fight against I think TJ Brown after the interview. Where it's like, we literally guillotine is my blood, basically, kind of thing. It's like I know the guillotine like the back of my hand. No one's gonna sub me with it. Yeah, do not do that with Team Alpha Male guys. But I think he can hurt him on the feet and get him out of there. Maybe ground and pound, and have the ref step in. That's what I think is ultimately going to happen. Not confident in Daniel Pineda at all. I think there's a little bit of recency bias, to be fair, based off he looked good against Nathaniel Wood, and I think that's mainly why. It doesn't help that Darren Elkins is getting older. But yeah, that's what I think ultimately. Next fight up the card, Brady Hiestand versus Jake Hadley. My boy Brady Hiestand from Tough. We're back, and I like Jake Hadley a lot too. This is a great fight. Oh, this is tough, but I'm gonna go Hiestand. I'm gonna go Hiestand to win a decision. He's a tough son of a gun, Brady, and he's gonna keep working till he gets a takedown and gets him down. He probably is outmatched in the boxing. I won't lie. Jake Hadley has good boxing, but it is a little bit too accepting of playing on bottom. I think that might nip him on the butt in this fight, and I know Brady's gonna keep fighting for that takedown. He clearly did show some improvements on the feet in his last fight against Garrett Armfield. He did get hurt a few times, but Garrett Armfield's a very great puncher. Jake Hadley, very good puncher himself. But I think not Armfield. My God, Brady Hiestand will be able to take the punishment if it's given to him, and take him down and win like that. So yeah, give me Brady Hiestand. Not ultra confident in it. Am I interested in a bet? If odds keep getting closer, maybe. If odds keep coming closer, maybe. Minus 131 is interesting. It's interesting, but I'm not going crazy about it as of right now. So we'll see. We'll see. I think I like Bray Heisey to win. Sumo Darji versus Charles Johnson. I will say this. I'm gonna go Charles Johnson, but I have to say but. The time to bet Charles Johnson was in the past. It's not here anymore. Cause I do think he can wrestle and grapple Sumo Darji. Is he gonna do it though? I don't really know. At least Charles Johnson's getting a fight where he can be on the feet. That's good. I picked Charles Johnson to beat Joshua Van. Like, I felt pretty good about that. Well, not pretty good. I didn't feel good about that. I was like dicey, but I'm gonna go with Charles Johnson. But I think the kind of the same here. It's like this one's a little dicey. If it's on the feet, Sumo Darji is live to win this fight for sure. He's not a bad underdog by any means. And if this fight's on the feet, which it absolutely could be, Charles Johnson can still win like that. But Sumo Darji's definitely live to win as well. It's pretty 50-50-ish, but if Charles Johnson does implement grappling and wrestling, which I think is possible, I do think is actually like not too crazy for that to happen. Yeah, Charles Johnson should win that fight. And yeah, I'm going with Charles Johnson. I don't think he's gonna get Sumo Darji out of there. Over sounds interesting for this fight. I'm actually curious about what the over is for this one. So I'm gonna check. What is the over? 2.5 minus 220. I'm not crazy about it. But both pretty durable, so I think that's pretty likely. So yeah, give me Charles Johnson to win. Rob Font versus Kyler Phillips. I love Rob Font, but it's Kyler Phillips' season. Does he get a KO or a decision? I'm gonna say KO. I think Rob Font finally gets chinned. Ugh. Or maybe not chinned, but it could be ground and pound finish. I think Kyler Phillips is a very, very bad matchup for Rob Font. I think he's just he's way too fast. Way too fast. The wrestling is too good. And I think the pair of those is just going to be a massive problem for Rob Font to deal with. I think Kyler Phillips can get a takedown and do a lot of good ground and pound on Rob Font. I think maybe he's able to land like a spinning kick or whatever. It's always live with Kyler Phillips because he's so dangerous. Again, the speed I think is going to melt Rob Font. And that's what I'm ultimately going with. Rob Font's last few fights not been the best. The Corey Sandhagen one was bad. Short notice, to be fair, but just completely out-wrestled, out-grappled. And Corey Sandhagen does have good wrestling grappling. So it's not the end of the world. But Kyler Phillips does have good wrestling of his own, grappling of his own. So I think the Matrix is going to be able to do what he wants in that realm. 3-rounder definitely helps Kyler Phillips as well. His cardio looked the best it's ever looked against Pedro Munoz. Maybe there's some kind of usage of substances, but who knows? I think Kyler Phillips is freaking good. So yeah. Main event time. Mikel Pereira versus Anthony Hernandez. Everyone, it's literally, I'm just going to get out of the way. Like, it's Pereira early, Hernandez late. No duh. And I'm just thinking it's Hernandez late. I'm not super confident in this because he can definitely get starched early. But Fluffy melts everyone he's faced. Everyone. And dudes who have not seemed to be able to melt, like Power Bar, he usually does not melt. He does not melt in terms of like cardio and stuff like that. You can melt him with like KOing him or something like that. But in terms of cardio, no one does that to him except for this guy. And that's so impressive. If we get out of round 1, I think it's Fluffy's fight. Round 1.5. I think it should be Fluffy's fight, unless he just randomly gets caught. It's not like Michelle is having problems with the wrestling or grappling himself. I'd get that, but the pace. It's just the pace. How Fluffy fights makes you tired. It makes you tired, and he's willing to go to the depths to make that happen. And I'm kind of surprised. I'm surprised more people are on Pereira not than Hernandez. It's kind of interesting. I think Fluffy. Actually, let me switch this to submission. I think Fluffy's gonna be able to get Herrera out of there as the fight goes on, and melt him in a 5-rounder. I'm not sure Michel's gonna keep fighting how he's been fighting. That if he does, I'm not sure if that's a great thing. Maybe it is a good thing because it's the best chance he wins. But I think things lean for Fluffy here in this one too. Am I looking to bet it? Not at the moment. If the odds come in on Fluffy, maybe I might put like a little bit on it. I wouldn't put too much on it though. So yeah, those are my predictions. I'm not a lot. I'm like very confident. Probably like Kyler Phillips is my most like confident like pick, and I already have a bet on him. Or maybe to Spain, but nonetheless, let me go over some like props and stuff like that. More strikes, more takedowns. Probably is what I'm gonna go over for each one. More takedowns, Austin Lane. That's a given. You can parlay that with everything and get like an extra cent, and I think you'll be just fine. Melissa Martinez, Alice Ardeline. Probably more takedowns. Alice makes sense, but I wouldn't go crazy about that. More strikes, Melissa Martinez. I think is pretty likely. I think that's pretty likely if I'm honest. Not sure what the odds you get for that, but yeah. More takedowns, Jessica Penne. I think that's pretty likely. More strikes, I'm not too interested. I'm not too interested in that. Screw that fight. You don't want to trust either of them. More takedowns. Ooh, more strikes. I'd say stay away from that one. I'd say stay away from that one and from that standpoint. I do think an over would be interesting for that one. I don't have an over on Bovada as of right now, but I do think an over is actually pretty interesting. I think this could go to decision. Pretty likely go decision. I have Katona winning, so of course, I think that. Nicolau Amabayev. More takedowns, Amabayev. I think that's pretty. How I think the fight goes, I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen. More strikes. It's weird because Nicolau is like, he's very low volume. He can be very low volume. He can be, but he's pretty like accurate with the punches he throws. But I would just stay away from the 6 strikes one. I don't want to do anything with that. It's 6 strikes, more takedowns. I think Brady Highstand, more takedowns is interesting. I think that'll probably be good. And I'm not interested in more 6 strikes. I think more 6 strikes, if Hadley's the dog, I don't think that's a bad bet. But yeah, 6 strike. I mean, if Suma Dwarji is the underdog for 6 strikes, more 6 strikes, I think that's worth a bet. I think that's worth a bet. Not necessarily put too much on it, but that's not a bad bet at all. More takedowns, Charles Johnson, I think is pretty safe though, because it's either no one gets a takedown or Charles Johnson gets a takedown. That's what I think. Rob Font, Kyler Phillips. I think Kyler Phillips more takedowns is probably pretty good. A little bit of a worry because Rob Font does throw a lot of volume, but the speed of Kyler Phillips does help him a lot. So 6 strikes, I'd probably lean Kyler Phillips as well. And for the main event, Michel Pereira versus Anthony Hernandez. More takedowns, probably Hernandez. 6 strikes can be a little dicey. So I'd stay away from that. So yeah, that's my breakdown for this card. Very excited for it. And you can check me out at champbetsmma.com, as well as I'm on betmma.tips, champ bets, and I do have a bet on Dana White Contender Series tonight, like on the Jonathan, I don't know how to pronounce this, Jonathan Mikalev, the Australian guy, or Australian, New Zealand, Australia. I didn't do too much research, but I do think he wins. So if you want to bet for tonight, there you go. Very excited for this card. Like, as I said, super excited for next week, UFC 308. Very, very hyped for that card. There's one guy I'm very excited about. I've bet big on him before. Very excited for my man to go ahead and get a win, which I think is going to happen. I'm going to talk about that next week. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching. Have a great one. See you guys next week for UFC 308, Topuria versus Holloway. Let's have a great one this week. Hope for the best. Thank you.